So, this video is going to be about sports and the existence of trans people within it. There's some specific political fuckery going on in Australia right now, but I'm going to try and keep the topic general. I'm also going to split this video into a couple of parts, because while trans people in general are the target of legal harassment, it affects different genders and age groups. So, point the first. Women's sports are under attack. But not by the existence of trans players. There's a significant wage gap between men and women's sports, and reduced coverage of women's sports in media in general. For example, coverage of women's soccer during the pandemic fell to 7.6%, and they're often expected to play on fucking AstroTurf, leading to a lot more injuries. But you don't see them taking a dive. But no, certain people running for Australian government right now would have you believe that it is the trans women who are the threat to women's sports. Let's take a little look at that rhetoric a bit closer. So, I'm transmasc, I have a higher level of testosterone than most cis women, I am also 5'4". If I were to play basketball against Lauren Scherf, no one would say I have a biological advantage. Every single person has a different body with a different amount of chemicals and a different muscle buildup and a different everything. I could train every day, I could take steroids and protein and, cocaine, and I still wouldn't be able to compete with professional sports players of any gender. All athletes train, all athletes work hard. Being taller or having a stronger metabolism isn't a gender or sex-locked concept. Which is why I've invited wrestlers Takumi Iroha, El Desperado, Asuka, and Kid Bandit here today to help prove my point that all my excess testosterone doesn't matter by absolutely atomizing me in the ring. But it's because of this idea of trans women having biological advantages that we've had a massive diversity win. You can now be transphobic to cis women too. Casta Semenya, assigned women at birth, identifies as a woman now, incredible runner who's won multiple gold medals, 5'10", started training as a teenager to play football. After her first gold medal win in the World Championships, she was forced to undergo sex verification tests. This was in the early 2010s, and we've seen it happening again, and the debate on whether sports should be locked by hormone levels, and it's racist and misogynist, and I've never seen a classically feminine white woman being put under this demeaning level of scrutiny. It's always women of color, and it's always women who don't perform femininity the right way. This isn't about protecting cis women from the trans menace, this is about controlling all women and reinforcing gender roles and expectations of femininity. It's never been about protecting anyone. Trans women are already blocked out of so many fields, harassed and demonized, this is just another excuse to hurt and control all women. Catherine Deves would have you believe that trans people are the ones invading women's spaces, but they're not the ones who are invading people's privacy here. Now on to part 2. Won't somebody think of the children? I am filled with barely contained rage. So, if it's not obvious by my everything, I was absolutely miserable in high school with gendered sports teams, and I haven't played any since. That said, I really like to watch sports, especially wrestling. Nowadays we're seeing people debate whether trans kids should be allowed to play with their gender, and I just gotta say that it's hateful and horrible. I mean, really consider first and foremost that these are already vulnerable kids with much higher rates of bullying and depression than their peers, who are being targeted by adults who care more about what's in their pants than what they want to be called. It's children playing sports. I don't think there should be a debate. It's adults abusing their power to make sure kids don't feel safe at school. That's it. Topic the third, my sports hot takes. Like I said, I like wrestling a lot. Wrestling's separated into different weight classes. Having a heavyweight fight against a featherweight doesn't guarantee a win, but one side does have the advantage of weight and power. Hence why people usually set matches within their brackets. The most exciting fights I see, though, are tag team matches with people from multiple weight classes on each side. It's really interesting to see how they match up physical prowess and technique when teams have to strategize, and it's always the coolest thing ever when the little speedy guy manages to get the big guy in a grapple and use their weight against them and absolutely wreck shop with a suplex. When I tried Taekwondo as a kid, groups were separated by skill, not gender. My hot take is that more sports should be like this, focused on relevant skill areas. Why is shooting a gendered sports in the Olympics? This one flummoxes me completely. Athletes work hard, and it's condescending to tell someone that, oh, that person that beat you just had a natural advantage, rather than that person worked hard too. With all the bullshit going around in Australia, we're seeing more and more athletes coming forward in defense of their trans co-players, and it warms my little heart. But I call on all allies to do more.